Earth Hour 2009 in Montclair, New Jersey.
Touch my hand, call my name and call on the wind. Space in our chest from a vacant with you.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Shut up when I'm singing my sad song. You can call me a negative, they say a prophet. Call you.
Yeah, see, like.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Earth Hour. We've got just 7 or 8 minutes left, and I think it's terrific that so many people decided to show up tonight and decided to come out to make this symbolic gesture happening all the way around the world. It's been happening now for almost 12 hours, and it will continue happening for another 12 hours as the time changes all around the world. And of course, in just a few minutes, most of Times Square and Broadway and the Coca-Cola lights will be going off all at the same time. And the Eiffel Tower has been off for most of the evening already, and sites all around the world. I think it's great that Montclair is participating in this, and I think it's great that so many people in Montclair and in the surrounding towns are concerned about this issue of global warming and are showing that they know that there are solutions there and that we can all participate, and that it is really something that each and every one of us can do. Actions, some of them a little more difficult. Some things are going to be big changes that are coming, and we can deal with those if we work together as a community. And I think that this is sort of a symbolic event in itself that can kind of brings people together. So I think it's terrific that everybody's here, and I think it's also fitting in front of a great Montclair monument. So with no further ado, Michael Yellen is one of the co-organizers of this event here this evening. Joanne Bauer, who was really the resident who really gave the most push to making this happen in Montclair, happens to be in the Philippines, and they've had their lights out for almost 12 hours. But Mike's got some comments, and then the mayor wants to speak to you all as well. So, Michael Yellen.
Thank you. Thanks, Grant. So I do want to acknowledge Joanne Bauer. She pretty much single-handedly put this whole thing together. She brought together Gray Russell, several local environmental groups, sought and got approval from the town council to officially recognize and have Montclair participate in Earth Hour. And she had the idea of this gathering where we play acoustic music, have families and friends gather in the dark. And she was persuasive in coaxing Mayor Freed to come. Thank you, Mayor, for being here. And unfortunately, as Gray mentioned, she's actually traveling on business and can't be here, but I know she's here in spirit. So I just have a couple of brief comments about, what we're here for and global warming and the issue. It's encouraging to see so many people in so many cities worldwide participating in Earth Hour. But we all know it's a drop in the bucket compared to what really needs to be done to prevent what scientists tell us is the likely possibility for catastrophic climate change in the coming years if we continue the status quo. We are fortunate to have been forewarned, to have at our disposal scientists and computers and models that can predict the consequence of fossil fuel combustion, CO2 accumulation, and global climate change. If you take the time to read what the scientists are saying and comprehend their conclusions, I cannot imagine coming away with anything but a sense of urgency to act. And that is what each of you are doing tonight, participating in action to lower our collective carbon footprint and raise awareness about global warming. But there's much more that needs to be done. I urge you to write letters to your congressional representatives telling them to support the Obama administration's plan for renewable energy and stopping coal companies from destroying the Appalachian Mountains, for instance, in their pursuit of dirty coal. It turns out that many of the representatives in Congress aren't really leaders. They're followers and need to be told which way the wind is blowing, and you can do it. As important, make a commitment to lower your own carbon footprint. The hardest thing to do is to break the lifelong habits that have led to an energy wasteful society. Think about where the energy comes from when you flick on a light switch, leave your phone charger plugged into the wall, leave the TV set on, keep your computer on day and night, or any of the other millions of other daily activities that use energy. Currently, only a tiny fraction of electricity we use comes from non-CO2 emitting sources such as solar or wind farms. Unfortunately, 50% of the electricity in the U.S. comes from coal power plants, the worst CO2 emitters of all the fossil fuels. And don't be fooled by the massive clean coal marketing campaign. There's not one operating coal power plant in this country that is capturing and preventing the release of CO2. And if such technology is ever developed and is implemented at commercial scale, it will be decades from now and much too late to make a difference. So if you start thinking about it and remembering the consequences of using and wasting energy, you'll start to break those bad habits that all of us have grown so used to doing. So thank you all, and great that you're here. And now, thank you. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Mayor Freed.
Well, welcome everyone. It's great to see everybody out here this evening. As you all know, you guys are the teachers now. It's all your responsibility. You came out here today. I bet you didn't know that you signed up for something, but it's really up to you guys to let everybody else know how important this stuff is. So I'll be expecting a lot from all of you guys over the next year. And next year we need about 10 times as many people out there. So that's just every one of you getting 10 people. That's not that big a deal, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We have to, we're going to count backwards from 10. I think we have to do it kind of loudly. And I guess when we hit 0, the light goes out. Okay? So let's do it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. From what I understand, all the town's municipal buildings, all the town's buildings are also have the lights out. And if anyone would like to stay around and talk about how we're going to get 10 times as many people next year, you're welcome to hang out and talk.
Well, I think if anybody else wants to say anything, you're welcome to come up and say why you're here, what's important to you, and feel free to make any comments.
Hello everyone, I'm William Dunnell. I'm co-chair of the Montclair Environmental Commission, and I'm here with my family tonight in support of Earth Hour. And I'm glad to see you all here as well. And hopefully next year we can get, as the mayor said, 10 times as many. So thanks for coming out.
Hi, I'm Laura Torchio from Bike Montclair. Tomorrow morning when you get up, instead of choosing your car, choose your bike.
Yeah.
Lower the carbon footprint tomorrow.
We can create a future, a way of living that's much more attractive than what we're doing right now. We can make this possible future look like a pamphlet for a dream vacation. If this happens correctly, it's going to bring our community together, and we're all going to have to work together to make it happen. And a lot of people have a lack of community, which makes them not as happy and not as fulfilling of a life. And then have everyone in this community together focus on how do we house ourselves in a sustainable way? How do we transport ourselves in a sustainable way, feed ourselves in a sustainable way? I'm looking at making this happen in Montclair right here. It's starting in New Jersey. I'm looking at getting people together to form a transition town right here in Montclair.